Everyone says they want a cute, sweet anime girl who'll make them breakfast and blush when you smile. But let's be honest for a second. Those are the same guys, including me, who would crumble the second a real woman told them what to do. Because deep down, we, as in me and you, don't actually want someone who's soft. We want someone who's strong enough to make us better, even if that means we end up going on a leash. If you've ever watched anime and found yourself thinking, yeah, she could 100% kill me, but you know, she's kinda bad. Congratulations, you're not broken. You're just a victim. Well, maybe not a victim, but like, perhaps a proud enjoyer of the dommy mommy effect. From Esdeath's freezing armies to Albedo obsessing over her undead boss, dominance in anime isn't just a personality trait, it's an art form. But here's the real question. Why are dominant women so endlessly captivating? Let's break it down, not as a joke, but as a phenomenon that says a lot about power, attraction, and the psychology behind control. Let's start off with the face of the entire archetype, and personally my favorite, Esdeath. She's cold, confident, and commanding. She leads armies, tortures enemies, and still manages to make everyone watching think she's evil, but like a stylish evil. She represents raw dominance, like the kind that doesn't apologize. It's not about cruelty for her, it's about order. And somehow, that control becomes attractive for me and you. Because while the world around her is in chaos, she always knows what she wants. And maybe, well, not maybe, but you know, there is something attractive about that kind of certainty. Then, you have Albedo from Overlord, who's really loyal, but it's almost to a psychotic degree, because her devotion is her dominance, which is kind of confusing, but it's because she doesn't just love Ainz. She chooses him so intensely it warps her whole being. It's terrifying yet flattering, because deep down, who doesn't want someone to want them that much? These characters pull us in because they blend in danger with direction. They're terrifying, but it's intentional. That's only the first layer of the dominant woman appeal. This is the layer where they're not guessing, but they're deciding. And what we need is a woman who orders us around like a military commander. But dominance isn't always cruel, because sometimes it's graceful. Let's take Erza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. She commands respect without ever needing to raise her voice. Her strength comes in discipline, not ego. She's not trying to be above you, she's just built different. Or Rias Gremory from High School DxD, who's confident, seductive, and knows exactly how to lead without losing work. Her dominance isn't about power, but it's about protection. And that's why people fall for her. She's in control, but she still makes you feel safe under it. But personally, I like Akeno better, but you know, that's just an opinion, guys. That's just an opinion. Then, we also have Yoruichi Shihoun from Bleach. She's playful, wise, and a mentor who doesn't need to prove her dominance. She simply exists, and everyone else adjusts to her. She shows that the strongest kind of dominance isn't loud, it's effortless. This is the second type of dominance, leadership with empathy. It's the kind people rarely talk about, because it doesn't really just attract, it also inspires. It's not the step on me fantasy, but it's more so the teach me how to walk beside you kind. Now, on the other side of the coin, you've got characters like Akeno Himejima and Zero too. Akeno's entire personality is dominance, which is disguised as playfulness. She's teasing, confident, and flirty, but behind that smile, she's always fully in control of the situation. And that's what we call psychological power. She makes you want to lose. And that's what I think dominance is in its purest form. Zero 2, however, is a different kind of dominant. She uses confidence as armor, she's unpredictable, emotional, and her dominance hides her vulnerability. That duality, which is the danger mixed with fragility, is what makes her one of the most human examples of this archetype. Then, we also have Boa Hancock, who is literally a queen. Her dominance is born from vanity and fear, and she controls others before they can hurt her. And that's what makes her complex, because her confidence is a shield which is built from rejection. Overall, these characters remind us that dominance isn't always about strength. Sometimes it's about self-protection. It's about control, yes, but it's also about who gets to hold it. And personally, I need someone who holds it for me. Then you have women who embody dominance. They don't play with it because that's who they are. Mereoleona Vermillion from Black Clover, whose dominance in its purest form. She doesn't just command others, she commands herself. And what I mean by that is that she doesn't hesitate, she doesn't doubt herself, she just convicts. She represents the kind of power that doesn't need validation. We also have Satsuki Kiryuin from Kill la Kill, and when she walks onto that screen and the whole world bends around her. Her voice alone has authority because every word is calculated, every action is deliberate, and that's what makes her the definition of controlled chaos, which is dominance through absolute discipline. We also have Mirko from My Hero Academia, who doesn't care what anyone thinks, who doesn't hesitate, because dominance is her freedom. She's doing what she wants because she can. That's an energy we secretly wish our non-existent girlfriends had. Someone who's fearless, focused, and unstoppable. This is the type of dominance that is different because it's not just emotional, but it's also aspirational. It makes you want to be better, sharper, and stronger for her. And then there's the heart of it all. Characters who both balance dominance with humanity. Yor Forger from Spy X Family is the perfect example, because by day she's a polite, slightly awkward wife, and by night she's an assassin who can end your bloodline in probably like sub 2 seconds. Her duality shows us that dominance isn't the opposite of softness, it's the evolution of it. She kills to protect, she hides to survive, and she leads with love, even when she's drowning in the chaos. We also have Revy from Black Lagoon, whose dominance is born from trauma. Her aggression, her authority, they all come from a world that forced her to fight for control just to stay alive. She's proof that dominance isn't always glamorous, but sometimes it's what happens when you've been powerless for too long. And one more time, let's go back to 02, whose dominance is through rebellion. She challenges everyone around her, not to hurt them, but to make her seen. Because sometimes dominance is the only way people like her know how to be loved. That's what ties all these characters together. It's not just about strength, it's sometimes about survival. It's confidence that's forged in fear and power that's born from pain. So why do me and you love dominant women? Because they embody what we all secretly crave: control. It's a world where everyone is uncertain, where people second guess themselves daily, but dominant women don't. They decide, they move with purpose, and they lead when others hesitate. It's not about submission. Well, maybe it is, but it's about safety, trust, and direction. They make us feel something rare in fiction, which is stability. You don't fall for Esdeath or Rias or Yor just because they're hot. Well, maybe some of you do, me too. You fall because they know who they are. And maybe that's all we want. To be sure of ourselves. To walk into chaos of life and never flinch. That's why dominance is beautiful. It's confidence that is weaponized. So yeah, maybe Dommy Mommy jokes aren't just jokes. Maybe they're tiny confession that we admire strength, we crave security, and that's why we all are a little tired of pretending we don't want someone who actually leads. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. More unserious analysis coming soon. And if you don't sub, you will never ever find your Dommy Mommy. So be sure to sub. Until next time, bye bye.